Hello everybody and welcome to today's video. I want to talk about when minimalism goes too far. Like, is there something like too much minimalism? Do people go crazy over minimalism? And what are actually the signs for me that minimalism has gone too far? And I'm not doing that by just talking to you, but I'm here with part of our outdoor couch. This usually sits on our balcony and it's a second-hand leather couch that I've had for 10 years, I think. And something that has come up once already and I tried to fix it, but now I have to fix it again, is the seams are opened and I bought some new thread that is hopefully gonna hold up better, and I'm gonna sew that together again while I'm gonna talk to you. That has actually been a request from one of my channel members. Thank you so much for requesting videos, if you're a channel member or not. And of course also thank you to all of you who are channel members. That means a lot to me. So let's talk about minimalism and when it goes too far. Now, I think even the definition of minimalism is a bit hard sometimes. So it's also hard to tell like what is minimalism and what is too crazy for minimalism, what is not minimalist enough, what is too minimalist. And I also want to say that I don't even want to talk about that especially, because I think we are all different and our belongings are all different and our way of looking at minimalism is different. And so it's super hard to just say this is minimalism and everything that is beyond that border is not minimalist enough and everything that is beyond that border is too minimalist. There are some things where we can see that minimalism is just not useful anymore. There are some indicators that minimalism has gone too far. And for me, it's pretty easy. It's when it doesn't serve you anymore. So let me give you some examples out of my life. I'm fixing this couch because sustainability is important to me. And I think it's worth it. Even if I spend some time and energy and it's not super enjoyable fixing this thing, it's worth it for me because I know this is the perfect couch. It fits on our small balcony perfectly. And so I'm willing to take the time and take the effort to fix this couch. I also don't have to throw it away. I don't have to look for a new one. And so I'm doing this. But for other people, this could be considered a waste of time. It could be considered like a waste of resources in a sense that they'd rather buy a new one because it just is less stress for them. But everybody has to decide that for themselves. Another example is using the no-poo method for washing hair. I've tried using the no-poo method for several years. I started in 2017, then stopped in 2019, started again in 2019, stopped again in 2021. It's great if you can declutter all of your hair care products. It's great if you can like declutter shampoo, if you can declutter your all of these things. But if it doesn't work for you and therefore causes more stress than just using a bar of shampoo, a bottle of shampoo, then maybe it's not worth it. For me, it's not worth decluttering my hair soap, which is just one item, for all the stress and the time I have to spend to make sure that my hair does not look greasy. And the same thing also goes for bras. It's amazing if you can go without a bra, but for me it's not worth it because it causes more stress to worry about what is going on with my breast if I don't wear a bralette. And so I think we are all different and we all need different things. And for me, for example, it's not a problem at all decluttering my hair because it feels so good. I don't care if it doesn't look feminine for many people. And so I think that's just very important to see that it is very, very personal what is worth it for you and what's the most minimalist. Because I don't even think it's more minimalist for me if I declutter things that then add so much stress and worry and thoughts to my life that it would be easier if I had them. So I think the most minimalist life is a life where you can live easily, have everything you need, but not more. But the most minimalist life isn't really if you declutter everything possible, but then it causes a lot of stress because some of the solutions are not good for you. But you have to decide what's good solutions for you. I think that's very important as well. And that is where I want to talk about the second thing. I think minimalism really goes too far if people start judging about other people's belongings, minimalism, definition of minimalism, and things like that. Now, I have a lovely community here. Most of you are very genuine, leave very nice comments. Of course, there's also some constructive criticism, which I really like because it adds to the discussion. We can talk about it, we can learn from each other. But there are also some people that are just negatively critiquing everything. And that is, I think, where minimalism goes too far. Like, if you use your mental capacity to judge about other people's belongings, to judge about other people's life, then that is really not something that adds to your minimalist lifestyle. It takes away energy from others and it takes away energy from you. And I don't really want to rant about other people here, but I think that's something that is, that we see in the minimalist bubble a lot here on social media. I've heard a lot of people talk about that they get comments that they are not minimalist enough. Now, that doesn't happen to me, but for me it happens that people misinterpret what I say, or that they say I'm defining minimalism wrong, that they say I declutter for the wrong reasons, that they say I'm obsessed with decluttering. But just actually, I'm just putting out 2 videos a week. Most of them are about minimalism. Yes, I do talk about minimalism because this channel is about minimalism, but the rest of my life isn't necessarily all about decluttering. Decluttering, in fact, doesn't really take up any time in my day because I do have a very limited amount of things, therefore I can't spend my days decluttering. That wouldn't lead anywhere. Well, here we are again, and I forgot to mention an important thing. So by everything I say, I always mean minimalism is good for you as long as it makes your life easy and as long as you feel like it's good for you. But of course, if it has, if it goes into a direction where it's mentally not good for you anymore, even if you feel like it's, like if it gets compulsive and if you feel like you're addicted actually to decluttering, and if it's not like healthy for you anymore, then of course, get help. But I think it's super hard for other people to judge that, because I've gotten that actually in comments, that people think that I take minimalism too far, where it would be a mental illness almost. But I can assure you that that is not the case. And maybe it seems that way in videos. And of course, it's maybe okay to post a comment and ask somebody if they're feeling good, if everything is fine. So of course I want to say that we have to be careful maybe, because for some of us, maybe this is like a possibility that it would go into a direction where it's actually not mentally healthy anymore. But I think like that's not actually what I'm talking about here. I'm talking more about that some people are judgmental over other people's choice in lifestyle. And I think for the vast majority of us, it is perfectly healthy. The only thing we have to think about is maybe the environment, because it's not healthy if we declutter everything to then just rebuy everything because we don't actually want to declutter it, but decluttering is just that fun. But we need the thing we decluttered and then we go out and buy the exact same thing again. Like, that is not healthy, but it's not healthy for the environment. But if you choose to change your belongings, and if you choose to declutter, if you choose to change your mind again about minimalism, that is totally fine as long as it's good for you, and you have to decide that. And so I just want to say that I think if for people that want to live a minimalist life, it really makes sense to just learn a lot about yourself and realize and learn what the things are that bring value to your life, and not really try to convince other people that the way you see minimalism is the only right way to do it, because that's just not true. Because what I said in the beginning, minimalism only helps us or makes our life easier if we apply it in a way that makes sense to our lives. And since our lives are different and our needs are different and our circumstances, we need different things. So it never makes sense to set up some rules. Let's say a real minimalist has 5 t-shirts, not more and not less. Everything that's less than 5 is just too minimalist and pathetic, and everything that's more is not a real minimalist. I just don't think that makes sense, because yeah, there are so many reasons why you could need more or less than 5 t-shirts. So what I think is important is that I really don't believe in one real kind of minimalism. I don't believe that there are certain categories of minimalists, like the frugal minimalist and the sustainable minimalist. Of course, we all also have other values, not just minimalism. I think most people, define themselves as more as being a minimalist. But that actually is also one of the reasons why we then need different things, because we have different lives, different values. It's just not possible to say that there's one real kind of minimalism. And I do love this online community to, talk to each other, to learn from each other, to see new perspectives, to see how other people handle it. And I don't think poorly about people that have more than me. I never think poorly about people that have less than I have. I am always just very happy if I hear that people have the perfect amount of things for them. And saying the perfect amount of things, I also think that the perfect amount of things does change. And that most of the time it's not perfect at all, because it's always changing. Our lives are changing, we are learning more about ourselves and about what we want. And so it doesn't really make sense to put a number or a goal for the whole minimalism community. And it also really doesn't make sense to define a very clear goal for yourself most of the time. But again, maybe you have a reason why achieving only owning 100 things would really make sense. Then of course, please let me know in the comments, because that is something that really interests me, seeing how other people live their lives, how other people find solutions. That is, I think, and I thought this is a strong thread. Now it just dripped apart. Let's see if I'm actually able to fix this couch. And so I would be really interested in knowing what your solutions are to a minimalist lifestyle. Do you have a goal? Do you have a number? Where are you at in your minimalist journey? What are the things that you want to tackle next? What are the questions that haven't been answered yet? And I can just encourage you to, of course, always comment on other people's things, also comment on each other's comments, and please give me some constructive criticism if you want to tell me something you think I don't know, or if you just want to add a different perspective to the whole discussion. I'm always open for that. I think it's always wonderful that we can have different opinions on a subject, because it reflects the different circumstances we're in and the different things we know, the different cultures we grew up in, and things like that. But I just think it's not very constructive to always just be criticizing what other people do. And of course, it's just a few people that do that. And a lot of us, I think, do it in our minds. But what I want to do for my life is trying to understand what other people do and not trying to convince them to do what I do. And that's really also the case for this whole YouTube channel. I never want to convince you to do things the exact same way I do them, because I don't think that would be the solution for a lot of you. Maybe there are. I have actually gotten comments where people said, I have almost the exact same wardrobe as you have. It really works for me, and it's wonderful to see that other people have a similar wardrobe. That makes me happy. That's of course interesting to see, there are other people that have a very, very similar wardrobe to mine. But it's also very interesting hearing your comments and reading stories about, I have 50 items. I never count my items. I put all of my items in a backpack. I am not a minimalist at all, but I'm interested in the topic anyway. No matter what it is, I am interested to learn from you. And if there is a definition for minimalism, let me know. But I know there are definitions, but there's also minimalism in art, minimalism when it comes to monks and living a very spiritual life with no belongings. And then is of course this minimalist lifestyle that is flourishing here on YouTube and on social media, and that many people use in their life. And I would consider that just being a tool that you can use as long as it is useful to your life, and that you shouldn't use to determine what's right for others, and that you also shouldn't use to make very strict like rules about what is minimalist or not for you or for others. That's at least my opinion, and I would be really interested in hearing your thoughts on this topic. It's just something that sometimes I'm a bit annoyed by the whole discussion, but it's also very interesting, at least as long as it's discussed in a respectful way. And if you're wondering, I'm actually Leah from the future. So I cut my hair today, but the next video you're going to see, if you watch all of my videos, has been filmed before. So then I'm gonna have long hair again. But after that, of course, I'm having short hair again. So I hope you liked today's video. And if you did, consider giving it a thumbs up. That would really help my channel. And if you want to see more videos, I link you a video here and a playlist here that you can watch right now if you have time and if you want to. And then, of course, I also hope to see you next time. Bye!